Greetings, everybody. I'm Joey Constant here with Nayeli Dowding, an overseas hooper, but she's been playing ball her whole life. Nayeli, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great and great to have you here. First off, I just want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, your hobbies, what you like to do, and how you fell in love with the sport of basketball.
So I'm originally from New York. I'm originally from Queens, but I grew up on Long Island. I hobbies is basketball, honestly. I think that's all I do, to be honest with you.
That's good.
Like
That's
I
good.
there's a
Pure
reason I'm
hooper.
over here hooping is because I love the game. Honestly, what got me into hooping, I was I think 9 or 10 years old. I played soccer growing up with my dad. My dad's a big soccer guy, so but the school said, "Hey, like you should try another sport out." And I'm pretty athletic, I think. I also ran track and I did lacrosse as well. So I think basketball was just one of those things where I picked it up and immediately loved it. So I stood with that for until now.
Got it. So you was a multi-sport athlete while you was young.
Of
I
course, of
followed
course.
your whole journey. You started off at Baldwin High School, then you went to Hartford University, then New Haven. Now you're overseas. But when you were at Baldwin High School by your senior year, you already had a bunch of awards. You were most valuable player, third year varsity award, and fourth year varsity. How much did you enjoy playing in high school?
Nah, playing at Baldwin was, I think, like the highlight of my basketball career. I know people like say they go to college and they have all these wins and they have all this success, but I had the most success when I was at Baldwin. Just the culture, like when I started to play, the coach for the varsity team actually trains all of us from when we're younger, and I think that's why his program is so successful because he brings us in from when we're like 9, 10 years old, and then we get to him by the time we're like 15, 16, and we already know the game at that point, which is why we win so many games. And Baldwin has won, I think, if not 11 or 12 consecutive championships at this point. So it's like once you're at Baldwin, it's a given that you're going to win a chip. And I think that's like, I built the best relationships with different people. And like, I still talk to my coach from high school to this day. So it really is, I think, like one of my best experiences, honestly, if not the best.
Awesome. It sounds like a good program. He was working you up from young, developing those
For
skills
sure.
to bring it at a high level. So that's why you are where you are now. And we're talking about the start of your collegiate career at University of Hartford. How was the transition jumping from high school all the way to college ball? What was different?
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things was my senior year, which I graduated 2021. So that was, I know the class of 2020 always talks about them being that COVID
COVID.
year,
It
but
affected it affected I'm class of 2021 too.
you get it, right?
It
Yeah.
affected us
So
bad.
yeah, they didn't get like the end of their year, but I didn't get an entire
You didn't
senior
get a
year of
senior
high
season,
school.
right? It was
So we
cut
got
off.
like we literally played like 6 games. And so that on its own just hurt. I tell people all the time, like, you have to think about it from a coaching perspective in college at that point. A coach is not really going to take a 17-year-old high schooler um versus, okay, they get everybody that was already in college another year, a COVID year. Why not just keep that player that I know and I'm aware of and I already know how they play? Like why would I recruit a whole new player if they weren't already, committed from before that, before COVID?
Yeah.
And so I think for a player like me, I definitely took that and was like, I know my ability. I know the state of collegiate basketball right now. So my freshman year at Hartford, I was a walk on. I got into Hartford on an academic scholarship, and I went
Okay.
on a tour to the school. Um, I went on a tour to the school and met the dean actually, and in conversation of telling him like, hey, I want to be a poli sci major. He literally was like, and I said, and I also play basketball, and he was like, I could talk to the coach for you. And within a week, the coach had reached out to me and asked for some film, and I was on the team from the summertime. So,
That's
um,
awesome.
I know. So like, and like, I think the biggest jump was just like I said, my high school coach was a really great coach. I think he definitely prepared us for collegiate level, like the speed of playing in college. It's a lot faster. Um, I feel like anybody would be lying if they said they weren't intimidated going into college. Definitely felt a little
Yeah.
bit intimidated. On top of me being a freshman, I was also a walk on, so that was also another thing that I feel like really was something that I had to, you know what I mean? I had to. hone in on. The work ethic that you have to put in, the amount of hours that you put in during the week. In the States, it's a lot different over here, but in the States, you're practicing 6 days a week. You have one day off, and on
Yep.
that one day, they'll hit you with the, oh, we have an optional practice today, and it's never optional. So
Yeah, it's not.
you
It's
def
never
it's
optional.
never optional. So definitely like just the pace of the game and the amount of time that I then had to make on my own. In high school, everything's already written for you, but in college, it's like figure it out. Like get here, get to class on time, run across campus just to catch,
Yeah.
statistics and you know what I mean, after waking up at
Oof.
6 a.m. So so yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Statistics.
definitely whew, I don't even want to talk about math.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
You got that.
mhm.
Commend you for that one, for sure. But yeah, that sounds like a great start to your collegiate career. And then going into your transfer at New Haven University, what led into that decision?
Yeah, so a lot of things led into that decision. I don't know if you know this, but the University of Hartford went from Division 1 to Division 3. So
Oh.
yeah, so at the end of my freshman year at Hartford, which was Division 1, played in the America East, the America East Conference.
Mhm.
They told everybody that, hey, we might be going Division 3. We don't really know. We're gonna see how that goes,
Mhm.
but if you want to stay, you could stay, but we're not giving out any more scholarships. And they said that my sophomore year, which was 2022 to 2023, that it was still going to be Division 1, but Division 1 independent. So you wouldn't play. We weren't going to be in the America East anymore, but we were still going
Yeah.
to be able to play those same teams along
Against
with other
Division One
Division 1
schools.
NEC teams. Yeah, so NEC teams, different Division 1 teams, but there's no championship. I took that as, in my mind, it felt like a JUCO year. It felt like a year where I could just go and get film up and really just get exposure. So I stayed. I was one of 4 players that stayed that year. The rest of the team left. The entire coaching staff left.
Mm.
I had a whole new
Wow.
team. I had a whole new team. I had a whole new coaching staff.
Coaching
Everything was
staff.
the entire coach. Not a single person was still there. Um, that was also a challenge, just learning a new coach and knowing that most of the people that were there were going to transfer. If you know, but if you went to UHeart in 2023, you knew like I'm not gonna stay here. It was not likely that we were gonna stay there, just knowing the state of the school after that.
Yeah.
So even on the men's side, it was the same thing going down. So we just knew like this year I'm get my film up, who you know what I mean, go crazy and I'm out of here. So that was my mentality going in my sophomore year. And then in terms of transferring, I already knew I was gonna transfer from my freshman year. So I just knew I had the ball out. I think can't remember how much I averaged, but I definitely played a lot more minutes my sophomore year. I played
Yeah.
basically the whole game, and so that was like a big, I think, confidence booster for me. Just knowing that I had the ability to play against certain like a level, and then a certain
Yeah.
level of basketball, and then being able to compete. The transfer process was not pretty. If anybody's ever been in the transfer
Mhm.
portal, they would know that it is the worst thing in the world. It's hell. It's
Yeah.
just the process of just the constant not knowing where you're gonna end up is really
Mm.
stressful. And I
It's
think that
probably
was my
nerve
biggest.
wracking.
It is, and I think that was like my biggest challenge. I remember going home my sophomore year still without an offer and like just like physically being sick because I didn't know where I was gonna end up my next year. Um, ended up same thing with my high school coach. I hit him up like, hey, like I'm struggling right now, and he was able to get me on the phone with the coach at New Haven, and she was like, I'll definitely take you. We need another guard. No, at that my junior year at New Haven, my first year at New Haven, they didn't have two of their guards, who are actually two of my friends now. They were injured, so and they were grad students, so
Mm.
she just needed another guard to come in and kind of do what
Right.
they had been doing the year prior to that. So that's how I ended up at New Haven.
Okay. Do you have any favorite moments that stick out to you from New Haven?
Um, uh,
If
uh,
you don't, it's okay. We can move on.
let
But
me think.
yeah, go ahead,
I
brainstorm a
think
little bit.
I think my favorite was my senior year. The first thing that comes to mind is my senior year. I hit a game winner. I had a buzzer. It was a
Mhm.
game winner. It was a game we were tied. I think live. We were down two at in the end of the fourth. I got fouled with like a couple seconds left. I hit both free throws to tie the game, and then the game went into overtime. And then last play, last possession of the game, coach called a timeout. She was like, I just need a bucket. Like, we're tied. Somebody get me a bucket. And I literally remember being like, I'll do it. Like
I
I
got
literally
it.
told coach in the timeout, like, give me the ball. Like I got it. Called a play, called Kentucky, went through, had a little pull up game. I think it's on my Instagram, but I definitely I hit the shot, played some defense, and we won the game. So that was like I think one of my favorite moments. Just something I know I can remember for
Yeah,
years.
that's not gonna leave your head at all. You was in the
Mm-mm.
huddle locked in, ready to win that game.
Exactly.
Let us see it. And then you ended up getting your degree in political science. How much did that mean to you as a next step in your journey? I know you worked hard for that. You talked about statistics, so I don't even want.
Shoot, I'm not good at math, so that was one of them math requirements that I had to take. But
Yeah.
political science was something I always wanted to do. I actually want to go to law school. I am currently getting my master's in sports law, so I political science, like just going into the law field, and I want to be an advocate. I guess in my college days, in my undergrad days, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with it. But as I
Mm,
got to like maybe like towards the middle of my senior year, I knew I wanted to be more of an advocate. Um, whether that was advocating for families or advocating for athletes, I kind of want to go down the athlete route of
okay.
going, you know what I mean? I know the state of
Yeah.
basketball right now is very, everybody's money hungry, everybody's all about
Yeah.
NIL deals, everybody's
NIL.
always about, so there's people, for example, Flajay Johnson is going to make more money being in the playing for the NCAA than she is
Then
playing
she
for the
won the
WNBA. So,
WNBA. Yeah.
so like that
It's
simple
like
fact that you have so much credibility playing in college basketball, and it's so new. Like that was not, I know I'm not crazy, I'm not old, but
mm,
it wasn't around
it
when I
was
was a
never a
freshman.
thing.
Like
Yeah.
that
While we
wasn't a
were in
thing.
high
Nobody was.
school or getting into college, like
Mm-mm,
now high school players are getting played. Like it's a different
like
scene. There's no limit on it
exactly,
either. So the sky's
exactly,
the limit. If you market yourself the right way, then you'll get paid at a young age. So it's definitely different.
exactly.
It's taking the athletic world by storm
It
everywhere.
is. Nobody's talking about that enough. I feel like they just assume like, oh yeah, these athletes get it, but they don't. Like, and that you young, you got some money, you don't know what you're doing with that. And also,
Mm,
how could you sustain that? So how could you then invest that money? How could you move that money over and bring it with you um to the big leagues? So like in high school, you get, you're getting publicity, but then how do you know how to move that in college? College coaches are ruthless people. I would be the first to say that they are not. They're not all good people, honestly. So being able to, keep that mindset and have somebody like me where I want to go into that field kind of help you out in that realm. I think I definitely would want to do that. So that's why I chose sports law and why I kind of did political science.
Nah, that's a good cause because there are some messed up things that happen within organizations that get swept under the rug or people
Hmm.
don't really tend to pay attention to as much. So
Trust
that's
me, I
good.
know. Trust me.
So you
Hmm.
play 4 years in college, and now it's time to jump into another big environment change, a big change. You playing overseas, you land in the UK, and you're playing for Nottingham Trent. How was that transition? I know it was crazy, different time zones, different environment, language, a little bit barrier. Just talk all about it.
So, I went through a agency called Play Overseas. They help athletes in the States play in the UK while getting their masters or getting an education. Um,
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to continue to get my education. I also knew I wanted to continue to play basketball. I literally put my name into some application that they had for free, and they hit me up a week later, like, "Hey, we got three schools for you." And landing at Nottingham has definitely been a great, great change for me. Um, Language barrier, I think the funniest thing to me is just the things that, British people say versus what we say. I think it's so funny. Like just even they think they always tell me I'm the one with the accent, but being at home, if any British person
It's like
came to
you
New
the
York, we'd
one,
be like, "You're the one
you
with the
the one with the
accent." So
accent.
now
Yeah.
I'm the one with the accent. I'm the one with all the weird lingo. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's the craziest language barrier. Sometimes I hear one of my coaches talk and I'm like, I don't really know what you just said, but I clear it up immediately. Like, coach, you got to say
Yeah.
that again. I don't know what you said, but
Yeah.
the speed of basketball moves so much different over here. The world of basketball is a lot different over here. Like, for example, I only practice 3 days a week. Like,
Wow.
and that's crazy. That's a
3?
crazy concept. The rest of it is up to you. And I think that's the craziest thing. Like, you got to book the gym a week before, the week in advance, if you want to get in the gym, if you want to get shots up.
Mm.
Um, if you want to, there's no like pregame. There's no like, we honestly, I was treated like a princess in the States, getting on the coach bus and having them get my snacks and my food. And it's not like that over
Yeah,
here.
it's not okay.
It's not like that over here. You definitely have to fend for yourself and do a lot of things for yourself. And I think that's the biggest change. Basketball wise, one of my coaches told me that if I'm closing out on defense, I can't say ball. Like I can't say that, which is a crazy concept to me. I
Wait,
know, right? They apparently
wait,
get a
why
tech for
not?
something like that. You get a tech
For closing out and playing defense?
for calling shot when the ball goes up, when the shot goes up. Yeah.
I actually have never heard that. That's crazy.
That's
You
what
get a
they
tech
told
for saying
me.
ball.
It could potentially,
What?
depending on the ref, get a tech for that. So that's just a crazy concept to me, honestly.
Mm.
I don't
That's
I
like
don't
second
know.
nature. That's natural, isn't it? Like
It
they
to
you
me it
literally in
is.
practice and they yelling at you to say it. Like if you don't say it, then you running.
I used
And
to get in
then
trouble for not saying that. So now it's like, I gotta
yeah,
shut up a little bit. I gotta, keep my comments to myself. But yeah,
that's
it's definitely
crazy.
a huge change. Just
Hmm.
I've learned a lot to like fend for myself, try to get in the gym as much as possible. The gym is empty. I'm gonna
Yeah,
stay. I'm gonna get some shots up. I was lucky enough for my coach to give me a basketball to carry around for myself. So anytime I got gym time, oh, I'm in there like easily. So yeah,
that's what's up. So like the practice 3 days a week, is it consecutive days or is it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday? How does that work?
it's Mondays and Tuesdays at Mondays and Tuesdays at 7 a.m., which I don't like waking up early, but I know I have to, and I
Mm.
have to wake up at
Yeah.
around 5:30 because I have to take the bus. So,
Ooh.
and I drive back at home, so it's still out there. It's a
Yeah, so
15-minute drive, but
it's
like a 30-minute bus ride.
bus
So,
ride. Yeah, you gotta stop
yeah,
and stuff.
so I take the bus in the morning, wake up, probably get on the bus by like 6:03 or something like that. Get to
Oof.
campus
Wake up
by
extra early.
6:40 or something. That's Monday, Tuesdays, and then the third practice is I play for the I guess what we would consider like a conference. It's called Bucks, and we play
Mhm,
Bucks plays
mhm.
every Wednesday. So I actually don't have a game today. Like yeah, that's why I was free today because I don't have a game or practice today. But
Okay. Perfect.
then I
Perfect.
practice again Thursday night at 9 p.m., which is a huge
That's late.
turn. It's a very huge turnaround. My coach is
Mm.
she coaches other teams as well. So
So
that's
she has
gotta
multiple priorities and stuff.
yeah, she's also coaching
Responsibility.
like I think a 14U boys team as well. So you know,
Mm.
in Nottingham, so
She got
she's
to
definitely yeah, with
juggle
different
her
teams and
time.
stuff like that. So we got to come in at around 9, end around 10:30, 11 on Thursday nights, and then Mondays
Mm.
and Fridays I have lift. Um and yeah, I should honestly be lifting the days I don't have. I'm probably gonna incorporate something on Wednesdays, but we'll see where I get into
Right.
that. But
Right.
yeah,
It's up in the air. It's up in the air
yeah.
for now.
Hmm.
So you mentioned your master's degree in sports law. So juggling that while being an overseas athlete, has that been overwhelming for you? Because you're still doing homework, you're studying, taking tests, and being a full-time athlete while you're
Yeah.
overseas in a new environment with all these early practices, late practices, and lifts and bus rides and stuff like that. So how has that been?
Yeah, I so like for example, my class schedule is Tuesdays. I'm literally looking at my schedule right here. Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays. So I got
Right.
class Tuesdays at 3, Thursdays at 1, and then Fridays 9 a.m. They're only for
Mm,
2 hours. I only have 3 classes. It's definitely a struggle in terms of because it's law. So law it's different wherever you are. So I
yeah.
learned a certain type of law in the States. I have not learned European law. So
Mm,
I have to then do the extra step in buying a European dictionary or
mm,
European law book, or then
oof.
take the next step.
Double
Okay,
the
what does
work.
this mean? It is double the work. But however, I will say that there are a lot of international students in my classes, if I'm the only American, honestly, but there's other
Ooh.
international, yeah, from different places who also aren't familiar with all of European law or UK law, I should say. So they do slow the class down, knowing that we're all coming from different places and different backgrounds. So that actually helps
Mhm.
a lot, not being the only one not in the know. But
Yeah.
that's definitely I think the extra step that I do have to take Other than that, my sports law class is really interesting, just understanding what law is in sport, like what do we consider okay, like for example, if you get hit playing soccer, is that a soccer player or is that something I have to bring up with the big dogs? Like,
Mm,
was it just like a
yeah.
regular red card, or
Was
do I have
it
to take that up with somebody else, my
ill
lawyer, like
intent?
something like
Right.
that? Yeah,
Okay.
so like when different things with even in the for soccer, the Premier League, like trading players, coaching things, everything like that goes into sports law, and that's something I had no idea about when I was in the States. So
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting. I take human rights. That's a really interesting class, and then I take international dispute, which I think is the hardest class that I
Oof.
have because yeah, it just sounds hard.
Yeah, the name
It's
just sounds compact. So yeah.
international dispute and resolution. Yeah,
Phew.
it's not. So yeah,
That's
that's where I am in sports law in terms
this
of that.
is all for you. I commend you. I wish you the best of luck as you continue on that journey because that's it's really interesting and it's cool to see a different aspect of sports that not a lot of people think about that really play a factor into everything that goes on while you're playing and while you're not playing because it's two different times for sure.
Hmm.
I would say, what do you enjoy most about the UK? Like,
Mm, I like I did talk a lot about the amount of time that I'm moving around and doing stuff, but I
mhm,
do have a lot more free time than I did
okay,
back at home. Being away is definitely a struggle. I am 5 hours ahead, so like it's when it's time for me to go to bed, it's my mom is still working and still at her desk, so I call her
yeah,
and she's like,
it's
I can't talk right
midday.
now, and I'm like, well, don't call me later because it's
I'm gonna
like
be
I'm not gonna be up.
asleep. Yeah.
I'm gonna be sleeping in the middle of the night. But just I think being in a new environment, exploring different aspects of the game, different people's cultures. Just I have the opportunity to go. I spent a weekend in London. I'm actually like about 2.5, 3 hours away from London. Went to London. Had a great experience with the hoop bus. They invited me on the hoop bus. Had a whole like through NBA Europe, so they had like a whole. They gave us like a tour of
Ooh,
London. It was actually really interesting.
that sounds fun.
But yeah, just I'm open to all new experiences and just being in a new environment, a different country. Like I think that's interesting on its own. So I'm excited to what I could do more of, and with the time that I do have, I'm really happy to spend it doing whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, I know it's fun getting new experiences, stuff that you wouldn't imagine seeing in the States, just culture and things of that nature. But talked about the positive side. I'm gonna ask you a little bit. What do you dislike the most? What's really like grinding your gears?
The weather in the UK is exactly what you think it is. It's raining most of the
Mm,
time. There's no sun. I have to take my
sure.
my vitamin D every day because I did
You
get
don't get no
sick twice
sunlight.
already, like really sick, like couldn't move
Or
out the
like
bed
bad,
type of
like
sick.
or you was
Yeah,
bad,
it was
rot, like you had to stay in.
I could not get up. I couldn't go to practice. I played with like a hundred something fever like 2 weeks
Oof, that's
ago, and
dangerous.
then after the
That's
game, I had
dangerous.
like the meanest chills. Like my trainer
Yeah,
was
it's
like
probably
the physio.
shaking.
Physio was like, I'm not even sure why you came today, and I was like, Coach, I can't. I mean, like I can't miss this, but
Can't just yeah.
yeah, come on. But I think the weather is definitely something where it's like it's not cute. It's raining. It's rainy. It's very yeah,
Yeah.
it's always raining. I was just literally just talking about like the reason that I had to kind of delay the call is because I literally had to
Mm.
go get um my package that my mom delivered from the States. They almost
Oh,
lost my package.
oh,
So,
nah, we
and
can't have
I was
that.
wearing I was wearing the same outfit in rotation for like for like a month and
Oh,
a half now.
you got
So
a care package. Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
got
You
like
got
all
some
my
clothes.
like essential stuff that I had to leave back at home
Right.
that I just got. So I think that was another thing, like just being in a new place and having to get used to the new things. Like there's different products, you go into the store and you're like, what is this? Like you
Yeah, I've
have to
never
learn
seen this
like
before.
what's good and what's not good. I will say though, I will bring up a positive. The food, people
Mm,
people really
top tier.
talk down on UK food, but it's not horrible. It's not as bad. But
It's not horrible.
the states, we
States
got all
got it.
that. No, we got all that stuff, preservatives and all that in our food, and it makes
But you
everybody
feel like
look
it's
bad. But
natural over
it is
there.
very natural. Everything is
Okay.
expiring in 2 days after you buy it. Just because it's so natural, you might as well just eat it the day
Mm,
you got it. Like, but I think that's a good thing, honestly. I think that's a good
Okay.
thing. I'm doing a lot
Okay.
more cooking here than I did at home because it's like I have to meal
Gotcha.
prep and do all that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but again, on the negative, I got to meal prep. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That is an
that's
extra
where I'm
step you
at.
gotta take. I
Hmm.
got you. I got you. Last question for you. How you talked about your mom and the disconnect in the time zones. She's sending you stuff. How hard is it to be away from your family for this long period of time?
Yeah, it is hard. I know I'm not gonna go home for Christmas. Pretty sure my mom, my dad, and my brother are looking to come up here actually.
Oh, that'll be
um
fun.
to spend Christmas over here because it's like I'm their excuse to get out the country. But it
Good
is
excuse.
definitely, yeah, it is definitely hard. Um by the time I wake up, go to practice, eat breakfast, take a nap, and getting ready for class, y'all are just waking up. So it's like one of those things
Yeah.
where it's like I'm pretty much mute until 2 p.m. just because I'm not talking to anybody unless I'm talking to my teammates.
Yeah.
Um it is hard. I mean, when I was in the States, I was only in Connecticut, which was like when I was at Hartford, I was like 2.5 hours away from home, and then when I was at New Haven, I was only like an hour and a half away. But same thing. Basketball consumes your life. Like sports itself consumes your life. So you're not. I didn't go home for Thanksgiving for like 4 years. I only had like 3 days off for Christmas 4 years.
Short winter
I
break.
I'm not new to this, I'm true to this, like, just not
Right.
being home for a long period of time. So,
Gotcha.
definitely sucks, but I'm excited to see my family next month, definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. It's hard to be away from family for a long period of time. And I
Mhm.
know them short winter breaks because they want you right there after practice, right after
Right
Thanksgiving
there.
dinner. You guys are running sprints the next day.
That
So
defensive
don't
slides
eat
full court. Mhm.
don't eat too much. But Miss Dowding, I appreciate your time talking about your journey. I look forward to seeing you play more, getting more buckets. Hopefully we get another game winner in there somewhere. Um, but
Definitely.
yeah, it was great talking to you.
Thank you, you too, I appreciate it.
There's so much more in store. But when you get